Alright, in this video I'll be covering problem 4, parts A through F for your test review. Number 4, notice first that your operation is multiplication. When multiplying rational expressions, it's going to be important to factor out anything that's factorable and then see if common factors will cancel diagonally or vertically, but never horizontally. So your first job is to factor. Notice up top we have a trinomial. 2x squared factors into 2x and x. When our constant term is positive, we refer to the sign of your linear term. Because it is positive, you'll have plus plus. Then you need to use factors of 10 that when we combine the inner and outer terms will give us 9x. And we can put 5 here and 2 here, because then we'll get 5x and 4x, which combine to give us 9x. Down here, this would factor into x and x, plus and plus. And we could try 6 and 1 or 2 and 3. It happens to be that 2 and 3, 2x plus 3x will combine to give us 5x, so that's how we factor that. For this one up here, we're going to have x plus and x plus 3 and 4, because 3 times 4 is 12, but 3x plus 4x will give us 12x. And then down here, if we put the 5 here and the 1 here, we can get positive 5x and then subtract 2x. So 5x subtract 2x will give us 3x. So now it's completely factored, so you don't want to look anymore at the purple, but look at all the factors. And notice that there are terms that will cancel vertically. X plus 2 divided by x plus 2 is 1, so that cancels out. 2x plus 5s cancel out, and the x plus 3s cancel out. So then you just write what's remaining as factors. We only have 1, so it's x plus 4 over x minus 1. You can use parentheses or not use parentheses since you only have one quantity on the top and the bottom. But this would be our final answer. For Part B, you're dividing, so the first thing you need to do, and some of y'all may be able to skip steps, so I'm totally fine with that, is change division to multiplication and invert this second fraction. And then do likewise like we did up here. So factor anything that's factorable. Notice 4x squared minus 9 is a difference of squares. And down here, this trinomial factors into x minus 5 and x minus 5. And then that's all you can factor. So let's look here in the blue and what we've got here in purple. The 2x minus 3s will cancel, and one of the x minus 5s will cancel. So what remains up top is 2x plus 3, and that's all. And on the bottom, all we have remaining is x minus 5. And that would be our answer. Next, for C, we're subtracting. And this requires you to understand how to find the least common denominator. To find the least common denominator, we always factor the denominators. In this case, for 12x minus 6, we can pull out a GCF of 6. And that leaves 6 times the quantity 2x minus 1. From the second one, we can factor out 10 times x plus 4. Our LCD, if we just consider the 6 and 10, the smallest number that 6 and 10 divide is 30. And then we write out the remaining factors. So next you have to think, well, if I divide by 6 times the quantity 2x minus 1, if I divide this into this, what would I get? Or think, what do I need to multiply this quantity by that will give me this? Well, if I multiply the 6 by 5, I'll get the 30. I already have the 2x minus 1, but to create this denominator, I would have to use x plus 4 also. So that's the rationale you use. That's what you multiply by on the top and the bottom. Okay? So whatever we need to make this common denominator is what we multiply the top and the bottom by. Now over here, we'd have to multiply 10 by 3 to get 30, and also by 2x minus 1. That would give us this quantity here in our LCD. So whatever we multiply the bottom by, we also multiply the top by. So 3 times 2x minus 1 as well. And now we need to multiply. But one thing I want you to catch is to remember that when you're subtracting, don't mess this up. You need to change this subtract sign to a plus sign and move your negative up here. That way when you multiply this out, you'll have the correct terms. Now over here, 5 times 5 is 25 times the quantity x plus 4. When you distribute that, you're going to get 25x plus 100. Now note, I'm changing the minus here to a plus sign because I moved my negative over here. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. When you distribute that over the quantity 2x minus 1, you end up with negative 12x plus 6. Now mind you, both of these are over your new common denominator here. And at this point, all you need to do is combine like terms. So notice your like terms are here, and you've got your integers here that you can combine. 25x minus 12x is 13x. 100 plus 6 is 106. Over 30 times 2x minus 1 times x plus 4. Please do not multiply that out. Just leave it in factored form. And that's our answer. So you got to understand, this is quite a bit of work. This is worth 4 points, and this is worth 2 points, or 3 points actually, just stating the LCD. So if you don't understand that LCD part, you're going to lose some points. There's 3 terms here, 3 factors in your LCD, so that's going to be worth 3. So on D, again, similar process. Here you can factor out a 4. And here you can factor out a 6. That makes your LCD, if you think of the least common multiple for 4 and 6, that would be 12. And then list each of your other binomial factors here. So that's your LCD. So now we think, well, what do I need to multiply 4 times 2x plus 3 by to get this? Well, I'd have to multiply the 4 by 3. And then I already have the 2x plus 3. I need the x minus 1. So that tells you what you need to multiply the top by. So I'm going to multiply by 3 and x minus 1 up top. Down here, 6 to get 12, I need to multiply by 2. I already have the quantity x minus 1, and I need the quantity 2x plus 3. So that's what you're also going to multiply the top by. All right, at this point, we simply distribute and simplify our numerator. Sorry for all the moving around. So this is 7 times 3 is 21. If I distribute that over the quantity x minus 1, I'm going to end up with 21x minus 21 over my common denominator of 12 times the quantity 2x plus 3 times the quantity x minus 1. And I'm going to add with this common denominator now a numerator of what I get when I distribute here. Well, 5 times 2 is 10. If I distribute that over this quantity, then I'm going to get 20x plus 30. I'm almost through. All I need to do is add my terms in my numerator at this point. So you can combine the 21x and 20 to get 41x, and the negative 21 plus 30 would give you 9 over a common denominator of 12 times the quantity 2x plus 3 times the quantity x minus 1. And that's your final answer. Okay. All right, next we've got the complex rational expressions. So what we need to do is make these have like denominators. So if I put that over 1, I'm going to have a fraction within a fraction, okay? So to get my denominator for this top fraction, I'm going to multiply 1 times x, and then I'm going to cross multiply, and that gives us x squared minus 4. So up top I put x squared minus 4. Down here I have a common denominator of 1. My denominator is going to be the product of these two, x plus 7. I'm going to multiply x plus 7 times x, but remember you're going to need to distribute x. That gives us x squared plus 7x. When I multiply, and I'm adding, so when I multiply 1 times 10, I'm going to have plus 10. So at this point, it's just a simple division problem. So I'm going to rewrite it using division, but in a familiar format. So this division means the same as this division. This long fraction bar means division, just like this symbol means division. But remember that at this point, we need to change division to multiplication and invert this, just like we did on part B. So x plus 7 over x squared plus 7x plus 10. Now I'm certain that a lot of you will be able to shorten up steps, and that is perfectly fine. So now if I come over here, my numerator on the left factors into x minus 2 and x plus 2 over x times x plus 7 over x plus 2, x plus 5. At this point, my job is to simply eliminate any like terms that we have diagonally or vertically, and only the x plus 2's cancel. So that means my final answer is x minus 2, the quantity x minus 2 times the quantity x plus 7 divided by x times the quantity x plus 5. And that's my final answer. So hopefully that wasn't too bad. For part F here, we're going to do just like we did before. Big fraction, I'm going to have a fraction on top and a fraction on the bottom. My denominator is going to be the product of these two. And then when I multiply that, I have x minus 4. I multiply here, but distribute the 3. So I'm going to have positive 3x plus 9. On the bottom, I'll do likewise and have x plus 3 over the quantity, or times the quantity x plus 1. Same thing here, 3x plus 3. But be really careful here. This is a minus sign, so I recommend that you change it to minus or positive, add, and move the negative up there. That way when you multiply, you know that you're distributing a negative 2 over this quantity. So negative 2 times x, and then negative 2 times 3. At this point, guys, it's just a matter of combining like terms and changing it to multiplication and flipping the bottom. So if you combine these terms, you're going to have 4x plus 5 over the quantity x plus 3 and x minus 4. Now I'm going to go ahead and change division to multiplication and flip this and put my x plus 3 up top and my x plus 1 up top, all over combining these terms, x minus 3. Now I just want to eliminate any terms vertically that I can. The x plus 3's cancel, and that's it. So my answer will be the quantity x plus 5 times the quantity x plus 1, because this is a quantity even though you don't see parentheses, times, or over x minus 4 times x minus 3. And we're done. That's our answer. All right, that concludes problem 4.